Hello there, adventurous souls. My name's Jailyn Gales, and you're watching another episode of Travel Tips. Here, I share my personal experiences and give you guys insider knowledge on all things travel. I answer your questions that you typically leave in the comment section down below in order to make sure your journey happens flawlessly. So, without further ado, let's hop into today's question. Today's question is a really fun one, and one that I think applies not just while you're traveling, but also to all aspects of your life. And it's how to build your confidence while traveling. But please do note that you can carry these tips into your everyday life. Sit back, grab a pen and some paper, and get that passport ready, because we got places to go. Building your travel confidence is all about the details and stepping outside of your comfort zone. So tip number one is going to be to go on a small trip. Start small, start small. Whether you live in the city or whether you live in the suburbs, whether you live in the mountains, whether you live at the beach, try taking a trip to the opposite location. If you live at the beach, go to the mountains. If you live at the mountain, go to the beach. If you live in the city, go to the suburbs. If you live in the suburbs, go to the city. This way you're starting small, experiencing something that's quite new to you, but also it's not big of a whirlwind. You can still easily get home. Your safety network is still there. They got your back. You can easily get in contact with them, and you still kind of know the terrain a little bit. Start small. In starting small, you'll naturally develop more confidence to go on a bigger journey, to go and see more. And you'll learn the fundamentals that go into planning a trip altogether, so that now when you plan something bigger, you already know those basic steps that you have to check off. Then you can start watching more of my videos, more episodes with travel tips to answer more of your bigger questions when it comes to traveling. Tip number two is so important. This is where you're gonna need that pen and paper, not just for this tip, but also when you're out in the field doing your research. When you are planning your trip, you need to research everything. Think about the basic things that you use every single day in your everyday life, and then apply that to the place you're going. So transportation, how are you gonna get food? When do things close? When do things open? What type of city is this? What type of nightlife do they provide? If you're into that type of thing, what type of things can you get into that match your hobby? So if you're into volleyball, do they have any volleyball matches going on? If you're into singing, are there any performances that are happening? Any festivals? Figure out these little key details that are not just going to make your overall trip better, but also, give you some little fun moments that you will never forget. And honestly, understanding these travel basics will make your traveling experience so much more easier, and you'll feel more prepared. Bonus tip, I recommend looking at a map of wherever you're traveling. If you're traveling to a city, like a downtown area, or if you're traveling to the beach area, look on a map at where you're staying, on where the closest restaurants are, things of that nature, and make sure you check the street names. Check the street names, because once you're lost, or if you ever get lost, or if you're exploring and you go a little too far, you can kind of find a reference that can lead you back to where you really want it to go. Number three, plan, but leave room for spontaneity. Hopefully I said that right. Having a well thought out, structured plan is honestly the way I typically go on trips. And it's the way that you're gonna make sure that you're able to see the things that you wanna see and experience all the attractions in the most seamless process. But something may go wrong. Honestly, in our everyday life, things go wrong. So why would you expect for a vacation for something not to go wrong? Or something exciting may happen that distracts you from that second thing that was on your agenda. So make some room, be a little flexible. Every single moment of every single day does not have to be planned out, because you never know what you'll find. You'll never know what new experiences pop up. You'll never know if something was there that you had no idea was there, but then it turns out you really want to experience it. For example, on my last trip, I actually found a random festival that was going on. Like, I was just in there minding my business, and there was a whole festival going on like 2 blocks down the road. So whatever I had planned, I'm not gonna lie, it got pushed back because I really wanted to experience this festival. I wanted to get into it and figure out what's going on, be in the know. Now, I did have plans to go and do some things later that night, but they got pushed back. And because I was able to open up my schedule and be a little flexible with my plans and not schedule things back to back, I was also able to experience that festival, which is something that I probably would not have been able to do if I was booking myself back to back. So have a plan, have an itinerary, but be flexible. And when you embrace the unknown like that, it can be exhilarating and it can boost your confidence altogether. Tip number 4. This one is such a fun one, and it's one that I really recommend, and you can do it in a number of different ways. But connect with some other travelers, okay? You may feel alone, you may feel nervous, you may feel anxious, but when you have someone else with you, or when you know you're meeting someone somewhere, you tend to feel more comfortable. You tend to feel more relaxed because you have another person that is not just kind of looking out for you a little bit, but is also there to sort of enjoy the experience in a similar way to you. So find some fellow travelers. You can do this in a number of ways. Like I said, I'll be answering that question in a different video, but one that I'll tell you now is through Facebook groups. Facebook groups, Facebook groups, I'm not gonna lie. Facebook is honestly such an easy way to find other people that are gonna be in the area, that are traveling for a similar reason to you. You can find, if you're going for a concert, I know myself, I'm going to see Beyonce, okay? And so I am definitely in a few Facebook groups right now of people who are going to go see her at the location I'm going to go see her. Because honestly, it's a new city I've never been before, and I would like to sort of, get down with people who are there to experience the similar thing that I'm there to experience. So the tip is to find some fellow travelers, and I highly recommend you do that. If you want more sources on how to find people, check out a previous video. Tip number 5, embrace solo travel. Honestly, some of my favorite experiences have come from when I'm out and about and doing my thing alone. Yes, if you're a woman. Yes, if you're more petite. Yes, if you're single. Yes, if you have social anxiety. It can be a little worrisome. It can make you feel, not confident about traveling on your own. But you never know what you're missing until you experience it. And what I mean by that is you don't know what you're missing until you start to experience it. And then you're like, wow, I was missing this the entire time. For example, when I was laying out in the park and I heard that music and I went to explore it and I had so much fun at that festival, I didn't realize I was missing such a fun time until I went out and experienced it and sought it out. So if you're traveling alone, then step into that. Go out, have some fun. Make sure you're being safe. If you have any questions on that, leave that down below. But just make sure you're taking the right precautions, that you're doing what you need to do to make sure that you feel the most comfortable. But don't be afraid to go out alone. And if you are afraid to go out alone, then imagine what you could be missing out on. As long as you are making sure that you have a safe way back home, you have means of purchasing things. If you have 2 different versions of payment, for example, cash and card, have 2 different versions, or Apple Pay and your card, whatever it may be. Have that on ready, on deck, on hand with you, and then go out and experience your life. Make sure that you're in a well-populated area, but go and have fun. You don't know what you're missing until you start experiencing it. And honestly, solo traveling can be so liberating. You're not reliant on someone else's schedule, if they get sick or not, if they have allergies or not. You can just do your own thing. Go where you want to go, move as freely as you want. And when you really think about it, people are looking at you regardless. So don't be worried about what people think by you eating alone, by you going into a new restaurant alone, by you going to festivals and going to parties and going out by yourself. It's none of their concern. And as long as you're having fun and you feel like this is something that you really want to do, then go ahead and do it. This last tip is kind of serious. It's kind of serious because it requires you to do something, okay? It requires not just your physical presence, but also your mental preparedness. So this last tip is to embrace the challenges and to learn from them. Traveling inevitably comes with its shares of challenges and unexpected turns. Instead of viewing these moments as setbacks, embrace them as learning opportunities, as ways to learn how to move better throughout this new place, as ways to learn how to plan more efficiently for your next adventure, as ways to learn what you do and you do not like when it comes to traveling. Overcoming obstacles in life, not just in travel, builds your confidence and gives you more information on what to expect. It lets you plan more efficiently for future endeavors, for future events that may occur, and now you're better equipped at navigating more situations. And overall, if the name of the game is to improve your confidence while traveling, these are the tips that I encourage you to employ. Not just when it comes to travel either, but also in your everyday life. So remember, building your confidence is a journey in itself. It's about embracing new experiences, gaining knowledge, meeting new people, and exploring and working through those challenges. By stepping outside of your comfort zone and following these tips, you are bound to increase your confidence when it comes to traveling. You can do it. I believe in you. You're going to embark on an incredible journey with reassured self-confidence and a positive mindset. I know you will. So I hope you guys found these tips in building your confidence while traveling helpful. And don't forget to like this video, share it to someone who you think needs to hear this advice, and leave a comment down below. And don't forget to check out my other videos. I have so many other tips and tricks for you guys. My name is Jailyn Gales. This was so much fun to make. Don't forget to keep traveling, having fun, living life, and doing it for yourself. Do it for you, no one else. Keep exploring, keep growing, and stay tuned for more travel tips. Bye guys, my name is Jailyn Gales.